Hey guys, let's get into this. I know this was a little bit old, but I still wanted to put it out there for everyone to see in case you missed it. This was released by the Trump Vance campaign, talking about the rhetoric inspired by the rhetoric by the Democrats that I believe, and so do they, that inspired two assassination attempts on our president's life. But he goes down here and he names names. And this is great. I'm glad he put this out so people know. And they put these people on notice. Um, they will have to face consequences for their actions. I know they like to say that it's Trump's rhetoric that brings it upon himself, but I hope you know, because I know that's absolutely not true. They need to name me the times and how Trump has actually what has he said? Tell me what he said. I mean, they talk about the bloodbath thing. We all know that was a lie. You're talking about a bloodbath if he does become president to the car manufacturers in the United States. The other one they talk about a lot is threat to democracy all the time. Tell us how. I mean, we've already seen the guy in the White House. Matter of fact, he's not the one calling for banning everybody. That's our threat to democracy, shutting down our freedom of speech. So, anyways, let's get into this list that he put out. Yesterday, President Trump was the target of the second assassination attempt in as many months. Thankfully, the would-be assassin was stopped by heroic action of law enforcement. But make no mistake, this cycle was egged on by the rhetoric and lies that have flowed from the Kamala Harris Democrats and the fake news allies for years. This has been going on forever. Democrats use increasingly incendiary rhetoric against President Trump in the days, weeks, and months leading up to the two assassination attempts. So Kamala Harris is first and foremost. And right now, she's probably one of the worst outside of the fake news. The fake news is the worst. And the fake news, they're all singing the same tune. And that, too, needs to be investigated. We've got to look into the fake news and find out who's giving the orders over here. These are not, even Fox News. I know you people look out there and say, hey, at least we got Fox. I don't think we have Fox. All right? Remember, Fox called Arizona in the election right away. Someone's in Fox, Fox is being run by the same 6 corporations that run the rest of the media. So all these organizations, all these people are going to have to be looked into. I really can't wait till this happens because it will change America. Kamala Harris, Trump is a threat to our democracy and fundamental freedoms. It is on us to recognize the threat Trump possesses or poses. Does one of us have to come out alive? Ha 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 ha. That was Ellen DeGeneres comment and said, who would you want to ride the elevator up with? Trump, Mike Johnson, or Mitch McConnell? And then she says, well, does one of us have to come out alive? Yeah, real funny. It's time, here's our buddy Biden. It's time to put Trump in a bullseye. I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Trump is the threat to this nation. There is one existential threat, and it's Donald Trump. Trump is a genuine threat to this nation. He's literally a threat to everything America stands for. Trump, and there you go, he lumps in almost half of America on this one. Trump and MAGA Republicans are a threat to the very soul of this country. Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent extremism, and that threatens the very foundation of our republic. And it is a threat to this country. How unhinged is that? Tim Walz, our buddy Timmy. Are Republicans a threat to democracy? Yes. Are they going to put people's lives in danger? Yes. How, Tim? How? Oh, we're getting quite a thunderstorm over here. I don't know if you guys can hear the rain in the background, but it's coming down hard. Ooh, wind's blowing too over here in Minnesota. Let's see. Oh, Gwen Walz, our first lady over here in Minnesota. Bye, Donald Trump. After the assassination attempt, bye, Donald Trump. Isn't that funny? Oh, would that be great to have her as our in the White House? Wouldn't that be great? Nancy Pelosi, Trump is a threat to our democracy, the kind we have not seen. James Crockett, MAGA in general, they are threats to us domestically. Half of the country he is calling threats to us domestically. Half the country. Dan Goldman. He is destructive to our democracy, and he has to be eliminated. Has to be eliminated. T.J. Ducklo. Oh, I guess it's one of Harris's staff members. Trump is an existential threat, urgent threat to our democracy. Another one, Liz Cheney. This is a real winner, guys. Trump presents a fundamental threat to the republic, and we are seeing it on a daily basis. Steve Cohen. Trump is an enemy of the United States. Maxine Waters. This one now, Maxine Waters. This one here is in big trouble. And she knows it. She knows she's in big trouble if Trump gets in there. The things that she has done are unexcusable. Remember the riots in Minnesota here that took place? And she was out there egging everybody on. I mean, she was actually inducing the riots. She was actually help pour fire onto the on the riots out there, on the protests. Absolutely. Remember when that one time she's sitting around telling people to go get in Trump cabinet's faces? I mean, she encourages more violence herself than Donald Trump has ever have, or even any us mega in general. She's done more damage to this country than I think. Outside of Obama, Maxine Waters has caused a lot of problems with Pelosi and Waters have caused so much damage outside of Obama. I'd say those are our top three right there. Are Trump supporters preparing a civil war against us? I want to know all about those right-wing organizations that Trump is connected with who are trained up in the hills somewhere. I wonder if she's projecting. Maybe some of these newcomers coming in. I wonder if they're on the up and up. Wasserman Schultz. Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Trump cannot be president. Trump is an existential threat to our democracy. Adam Schiff. Trump is the gravest threat to our democracy. Gregory Meeks. Trump cannot be president again. He's an existential threat to our democracy. Dan Goldman again. Trump remains the greatest threat to our democracy. Abigail Spanberger. Trump is a threat to our democracy. The threats to our democratic republic are real. Annie Kushner. Trump and his extreme right-wing followers possess an existential threat to our democracy. Becca Bryant. We cannot underestimate the threat Trump poses to the American democracy. Jason Crow. Trump is an extreme danger to our democracy. Trump is an existential threat to American democracy. Michael Bennett. Trump is a threat to our democracy. Stacey Plaskett. Trump needs to be shot. She said that on TV too, guys. She said that on, I think it was CNN. No, she pretended it was a misspeak, but she said it. She said it. She did correct herself and said stop. But she first of all said Trump needs to be shot. She said, stop. Shows you what these people are really thinking. Stephen Hersford. Trump Republicans are a dangerous threat to our state. Gab Vasquez. Remove the national threat from office. Mike Levine. Donald Trump is a threat to our nation, our freedom, and our democracy. Eric Sorsman. He is the greatest threat to law and order we have in our country. Greg Landsman. The threat is not over. Pat Ryan. Trump is an existential threat to American democracy. The Lincoln Project. Rick Wilson. And the Lincoln Project was supposed to be, just shows you how fraudulent the right is too, was supposed to be a right-leaning organization. That was until Trump popped up, and all of a sudden, just like all those other Republicans, like your Nikki Haley's, and that's what these Lincoln Project people are. Melt toast, go with the flow, part of the establishment, politicians and organizations. They're only there for one reason only, and that's they're just placeholders. They don't do anything. Placeholders that lie to us. But anyways, here's what Rick Wilson had to say. They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump. Former Harris Biden staffer, Kate Bedingfield. Democrats should turn their fire on Donald Trump. It continues. That doesn't even include the dangerous rhetoric against President Trump spewed by the deranged Democrats during the 2016-2020 elections. the impeachment hoaxes, and the summer of love. Meanwhile, the deplorable commentary from Democrats and the fake news in the aftermath of the latest, this coming up here is after the second and latest assassination attempt, and it has even gotten worse. Rep. Hakeem Jeffries. We must stop Trump. Rachel Vindman, this piece of junk. This is the wife of, I think it was Colonel Vindman. He was part of the Russia-Ukraine hoax. Yeah, a real winner. No ears were harmed. Carry on with your Sunday afternoon. Mike Sherrill. This really seems to be the confluence of two very bad things going on in the Republican Party. The attempts to divide, to enrage the population. Stephen Woodrow. The last thing America needed was sympathy for the devil, but here we are. Lester Holt. Oh, God, I can't stand Lester Holt. Today's apparent assassination attempt comes amid increasingly fierce rhetoric on the campaign trail. Mr. Trump and his running mate, J.D. Vance, continue to make baseless claims. So that kind of wraps up the document, guys. Like I said, I just wanted you guys to see this. And I want you to know that these are why these people are doing this, is because they are afraid of what's coming if President Trump becomes president again. We are going to clean up the government. In my opinion, the bureaucracy is going to be shrunk down. A lot of these people will be losing their job. And a lot of these people are going to be going to jail. Now, I've heard, people talk treason. I don't know if it's treason. All I know is that there's been a lot of bad things going on. There's been a lot of money laundered of our tax dollars through Ukraine. And that's, Ukraine's just a tip of the iceberg. I mean, don't get me wrong. This has been going on for decades, guys. I think the administration since Jimmy Carter, Jimmy Carter was probably, maybe it goes back to John F. Kennedy, obviously. But, things really got bad when George Bush Sr. took over. When George Bush Sr. took over, that's when you saw all this stuff start. And every administration since the George Bush administration, they're all on the same page, Republican or Democrat. Nothing changed when Clinton became president. Nothing changed when George Bush became president. Nothing changed when Obama became president. Nothing's changed with Biden. Matter of fact, Biden rolled all Trump stuff backwards, if you remember. And all those administrations, guys, are all the same. All of them. So, and our elections, when George Bush Sr. took over, that's when our elections really got funky. This 50-50 stuff all the time, it's no coincidence everything's 50-50. They like it that way. They really like it that way. Because that way they can't blame either side. They always say, we couldn't pass the vote because of the Republicans. We couldn't pass the vote for the blah, blah, blah. Who's going to vote Maxine Waters in for 50 years? Who's voting Pelosi in there for 50 years? Huh? She ruined San Francisco, but yet she just keeps winning? Come on. Anyways, when Trump does get in there, guys, they know what's coming. They know what's coming. So they're going to do everything they can to thwart this. I'm just hoping we can overwhelm the vote on voting day and overcome any kind of cheating that takes place. So, anyways, there you have it, guys. I'll hopefully bring another article here very soon. I know this one was late, but I just wanted you guys to see it. Thanks for taking a look at the video, and give me a thumbs up and a like if you want. And thanks for listening to Quality News Network. Thanks, guys.